In the past couple of months, we've been seeing some more budget options for keycaps. There's been some new manufacturers announced, new sets and styles of course, and some ambitious goals such as in-stock sets and lower lead times for group buy sets. Milkyway Keys is a new manufacturer working with die sub PBT, and today we'll be taking a look at PBT 015. Quick disclaimer, this was sent out for review, but I wasn't influenced in any way and I was not paid. This is one of their two sets inspired by the anime Darling in the Franxx, which I've heard is a pretty good anime, but sadly I haven't watched it yet. Don't worry, I'll plan on watching it soon. The box comes with a nice sleeve with some really beautiful artwork, and I was just so amazed by this. When you flip the package over, you can see the design for the other set. The same packaging is used for both PBT 015 and PBT 02, and overall it's just nicely done. Removing the sleeve reveals a simple box, and opening that box reveals the keycaps themselves. While I do have plastic covering on mine, this may change for the group buy with some cleaner protection and possibly different trays, but really the current ones are pretty good. The first top tray contains the alphas and a majority of the modifiers, as well as the function row keys. The next tray then holds the rest of the keycaps, like different size modifiers, as well as the numpad. Finally, the third tray contains the spacebars and the novelties. This is a cherry profile PBT keycap set, costing $100 at the moment for the pre-order, and $95 for the group buy, depending on where you're located. That's absolutely insane relative to other high-end keycaps in the hobby. It is die sublimated, meaning the legends are actually printed onto the keycaps. Die sub has its limitations, but Milkyway Keys is actually aiming to break those limitations with their reverse die sub keycaps, which is by no means a new invention, but it is difficult and can yield inconsistent or poor results. Reverse die subbing means that in order to achieve lighter legends and darker alphas, the surrounding color is actually printed onto the plastic. Milkyway Keys says that they have a new method that's extremely sharp and will continue to get even better. The thickness of the keycaps is 1.4mm, or around that roughly, so they are pretty thick and similar to the existing high-end keycap options. Keycap thickness does play a role in sound, and cheaper keycaps are typically thinner and result in a less appealing sound, while higher-end ones offer what some people refer to as a more full sound. The spacebars I received also had very minimal warping, which is surprising to me as PBT often has warp. While the texture of the keycaps aren't smooth, they aren't too rough either. I can't say that I enjoyed the texture, but I didn't not enjoy them. I do enjoy my ePBT texture more, but I'd say this is a really close match. I'm pretty pleased with the feel of them. I think the main concern with die sub PBT keycaps is the sharpness of legends, as they aren't using a double shot process. I had no issues with this, and there was very minimal bleed or blur on the legends. But when I did compare this to my set from ePBT and GMK, the ePBT set was slightly sharper than Milky Way, but I also do think it has to do with the colors on the set aiding with that as they have way more contrast. GMK was of course the sharpest as they are double shot ABS. Taking a look at the reverse die sub, I'm quite impressed. While there aren't a huge amount of keycaps on the set that use that process, the ones that do didn't have too many inconsistencies and very little bleed. There are also some keys that use two color die sub, and those turned out pretty great too. The font on the set is very similar to the OG cherry font used on GMK and ePBT with slight differences. For comparison, here are GMK and ePBT sets side by side. The alpha keys are very satisfying, similar size, and they've basically nailed it on that front. The font for the function row and the number keys are my favorite as I prefer the others, but it does fit the set quite well. My only other dislike in terms of the design is the thickness of the keys like Alt, Control, Super, and those types of caps. They're a tad bit thin, and just like the number and F keys, I wish they did a closer job of imitating the cherry font. Cherry Profile is my favorite to type on, as it feels so comfortable and looks great too. Milkyway Keys did a great job with their molds, as I don't really see any issues there compared to normal Cherry Profile. For the final comparison, here's some sound tests. Please make sure to read the disclaimers before each sound test as well, as various factors influence sound. They sound extremely similar to my ePBT 9009, which I really like. GMK sounds a tad bit higher pitched, which I don't mind as well, but I know I prefer the sound of Milkyway keys. To sum everything up, the keycaps are nice and thick, the texture is solid, and the legends are sharp. Aside from my minor complaints with the design of the set itself, I think the set is extremely worth it as it offers the base kit, novelties, and spacebars all for $95 in group buy. The production time is also supposed to be pretty short. The group buy for the set is also pretty unique and will have some slight kitting changes as well as this collaboration with Mirocaps. View their Discord for more details on this. Milkyway Keys has released some interest checks for other keycap sets already and is even working with vendors for some in-stock releases that are currently happening. That's all for this one. If you did enjoy, please consider dropping a like and hitting the subscribe button. Feel free to join my Discord to interact with me and follow my socials for more. Peace.